Good morning, folks. My name is Kurt Hitzemann, County Court Judge here in Hernando County. You folks are here for your first appearance. The purpose of the first appearance is so that you may be informed of the charges against you. I'll determine if there's probable cause for those charges. And then we'll set your conditions of pretrial release, that is your bail or your bond. In most cases, you've had a bond set already pursuant to the bond schedule here in the 5th Judicial Circuit or the warrant which led to your arrest. I'll determine if that bond should be raised or lowered or left the same, or whether there'll be additional conditions of pretrial release placed upon you. We'll let you know when your next court date will be. If you'd like to have the services of the public defender, I'll gladly appoint the PD to represent you this morning. You have a right to have contact with folks on the outside, family, friends, counsel. If you have not had a chance to make that call, please let me know. We'll make sure that that happens. Finally, and most importantly, you're advised that you do have an absolute right to remain silent with regard to the facts which surround your arrest. I encourage you to do that. These proceedings are recorded. In addition, there is an assistant state attorney in the courtroom with me. If you say something that tends to incriminate you, they will use it against you in the prosecution down the road. I now need each and every one of you at the jail to please raise your right hands and be sworn. You all solemnly swear affirm, tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Outstanding. When you hear your name called, please come forward to the podium. Christopher Bearden. Once again, Christopher, what's your date of birth?
3/24/89.
All right, Christopher, I have a warrant for you now out of, looks like Hamilton County, Tennessee. Your options this morning are this. You're entitled to an extradition hearing if you wish. The purpose of that hearing would be to determine if you're the right Christopher Bearden and if they actually have a valid warrant for you in Hamilton County, Tennessee. That process can take up to 60 days, and while you're waiting for that to happen, you would wait in the jail here in Hernando County. You can waive your right to that hearing this morning. If you waive your right, Hamilton County will be notified right away this morning and told that they have 15 days to come and get you. If you're still here in 15 days, they would bring you back to see me, and I would find out if they're actually coming or what is going on. So, would you like us, Christopher, to set you up for an extradition hearing, or would you like to waive that right, put Hamilton County, Tennessee on the clock right now?
I'm ready to go.
All right. Sign that form. Very good. They'll be teletyped this morning, Christopher. They got 15 days to come get you. If you're still here in 15, they'll bring you back to see me.
Okay.
Thank you. Albert Casiello. Want to, sir, what's your date of birth?
7/14/89.
I will have two charges today. I have trespass and criminal mischief. There's probable cause for those charges. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Public defender, please.
I'll appoint the PD. State, what can you tell me?
Possession of cocaine, possession of paraphernalia, battery, grand theft, aggravated child abuse, robbery by sudden snatching, another battery, and one more domestic battery.
Very good. And Albert, where have you been staying lately?
Excuse me?
Where have you been staying lately?
It's 7025 Ursula Way, my friend Marie's house.
Okay. And do you have a job these days?
No.
All right. I must leave the bond at $1,000 per count. That's a total of $2,000. Condition of those bonds is that you'll have no contact with either Kenneth Wright or Kathleen Sturgill. No contact means no contact of any kind. You don't go where they live. You don't go where they work. You don't call. You don't write. You don't email. You don't text message. You don't contact them through any social media. Any way that you might consider contacting them, I forbid you to do that. If you have contact and we find out about it, your bonds can be revoked and you can be held without bond until the charges are resolved. I'll have you back in court on these on July 11th. Very important that you contact the public defender if you get out, all right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Keith Edwards. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
7/11/85.
Keith, I've got a charge of petty theft this morning. There's probable cause for that charge. As to that charge, you wish to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like me to appoint the public defender?
Yes, sir.
I'll appoint the PD, state.
A criminal mischief, evidence tampering, petty theft, grand theft, other petty theft, and that's about it.
Keith, I have an address for you on Macon Road in Tallahassee. Is that where you live?
No, I actually stay here.
Okay. What's the address here?
I really don't know. It's in my paperwork, though.
Okay. Do you know what street it's on?
It's on Wildwood.
Okay. Is it 19476 Wildwood?
Yes, sir.
There it is. All right.
I just changed my address on my ID.
Yeah. You have a job these days?
Yes, sir, I do.
What do you do?
Overflow Melissa's golf cart.
Okay. All right. We'll leave your bond at the $1,000. I'm going to have you back in court on the 11th of July. If you get out, make sure you contact the public defender, okay?
All right.
Thank you. Telly Fribley. Want to tell you what your date of birth?
1994.
All right. It looks, tell you like what these are is 3 recommitment orders signed by Judge Merritt in 3 open felony cases. You have a lawyer on these cases?
No, sir. I was out on bond. I had a PD.
Okay, you want the PD?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do we know, is there a specific date that Judge Merritt wanted him back, or?
June
7/13. Okay.
No, July 14th.
All right, so Telly, I'll appoint the public defender. The bond on these is no bond. I can't change that. I'll send you back to see Judge Merritt on the 13th of July. PD will come see you before that, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Miguel Iglesias. Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
1568.
Miguel, I have a warrant for you out of Pinellas County. The judge that signed this warrant found probable cause for 1 count of written threats to kill or injure and set your bond at $20,000. I can't change the bond on the out-of-county warrant. If you can post the $20,000, you can get out of jail here, go down to St. Pete, find out when they want you in court. If you can't post the bond, we'll notify Pinellas County right away. I'll give them 5 days to come pick you up. If they have not picked you up in 5 days, they'll bring you back to see me, and we'll find out what the holdup is, all right?
Okay, there was another charge for the Martin County. I think it was something else there.
Yep,
But I
you got a hold on Martin County, but we can only send you one place at a time. So if you post bond on the Pinellas warrant, quite frankly, my guess is they would serve the Martin warrant. And then we'd be back at first appearance. If you don't post bond on Pinellas, you're going to go there and deal with that, and then they're going to send you to Martin County. All right?
Oh, so first I deal with the Pinellas,
That's,
and then the other one?
that's right.
Because I know for the one in Martin County, I went to court twice for that, but the lady never showed up and everything stood the same. So for what I know, it was that I was supposed to stay into December and everything was clear. That's all I knew. I didn't know nothing else after that.
Okay. And Miguel, I know only a little bit about your Pinellas case and absolutely nothing about the Martin case. So all I can tell you is that I've got a bond here for you for Pinellas, and that's the only thing we can deal with today.
Up to 20,000, you say, sir?
20,000.
So it's 2,000?
My understanding is that's typical for a bondsman, but I don't do that for a living. You'll have to talk to a bondsman.
All right, no problem.
Very good.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you. Brandon Ryan. Morning, Brandon. What's your date of birth?
4682.
Hang on one second. Okay. You're hearing a warrant out of Hillsborough County. The judge that signed the warrant out of Hillsborough County Apparently it's a VOP. Set your bond and no bond, Brandon, so I can't change that. We'll give Hillsborough 5 days to come get you. If for some strange reason you're still here in 5 days, they'll bring you back to see me. We'll find out what the holdup is, all right?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Thank you.
Yep. Dwayne Skoletsky.
Morning, Your Honor.
Morning, sir. What's your date of birth?
10/23/85.
Dwayne, you're here on a warrant signed by Judge Toner. He found probable cause for violation of community control. As to that charge, you want to represent yourself. You're going to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point the PD. Bond on the warrant, of course, is no bond. I can't change that. I'm going to change your date to the 6th of July. And the public defender will come see you before that, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Jesse Yother. Morning, Jesse. What's your date of birth?
8/21/84.
Jesse got 2 charges today, driving on a suspended license and fleeing to elude. There's probable cause for both counts. As to those charges, you want to represent yourself. You want to hire private counsel. Would you like the public defender?
Public defender.
I'll point the PD, and it looks like he has, what's his open case? And do we have an arrest date on that? Okay. And Jesse, I have an address for you in Webster. Is that where you live?
Yes, sir.
How long have you lived there?
It's been a few years.
Okay. Do you have a job these days?
I'm not working right now.
Okay. All right. Here's what we're going to do on these cases. I'm going to leave the bonds per the schedule, which is $500 on the driving on a suspended license, $2,000 on the fleeing. I'm going to move these to the 26th of June. That's where your other case is. Unfortunately, then, job number 1 when you're out on bond on criminal charges is don't pick up new criminal charges. It appears to me that you have. It's pursuant to Florida Statute 903.0471. I'm going to revoke your bond in 18 CF 1169. We're going to hold you without bond at least until the 26th next week. 2 weeks, whatever it is. The 26th of June, you'll be back in court on all of these charges. The public defender will come see you before that. If there's a way to revisit your bond, they'll do that on the 26th, all right?
No.
All right, thank you. Anthony Dempsey.
Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Dempsey. What's your date of birth?
4/12/83.
All right, Mr. Dempsey, have a number of issues this morning. First is a warrant signed by Judge Neal. He found probable cause for 2 counts of uttering forged checks and 2 counts of grand theft. I then have a warrant that I signed. I found probable cause for a violation of probation. I then have a warrant also signed by me, where you failed to appear in my court on a charge of driving on a suspended license. I have a warrant signed by Judge Rupi. She found probable cause for fleeing to elude and driving on a suspended license. And then I have 2 writs of bodily attachment. What a writ of bodily attachment is that a child support hearing officer and a circuit judge determined that you owed child support. And on those, they set cash purges of $569 on each one. As to the criminal charges, you want to represent yourself, you want to hire private counsel, would you like the public defender?
Hire private counsel.
Very good. I have an address for you on English Elm Circle in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
That is correct.
How long have you lived there?
Quite a while, many years.
Okay. And do you have a job these days?
No.
Okay. State, what can you tell me?
Your Honor, I don't see any conviction.
Just this mess in front of me.
Yes.
Okay. Well, he's got the one dwellers with me. All right. So what I'm going to do on Judge Neal's warrant, which is the uttering and the grand theft, I'm going to leave the bond on those at $2,000 each, so it's $8,000 on those, and those are coming back the 10th of July. The bond on my VOP, of course, is no bond.
Is there any way that could be?
Let's see, where are we?
I'm sorry, Judge, the Grand Theft Auto comes back July 6th, you said?
10th.
July 10th. Okay, I apologize.
Let's see, what is today?
It's 30 days on the VOP.
Right. Yeah, the VOP, I guess if you wanted, Anthony, to resolve that today, you can. It's 30 days in the county jail. If that would get you done with that prior to getting into court on that. I mean, the court date would be the 11th of July, which is probably be a little longer than what a 30-day sentence would be, but if you want to take the 30 on the VOP, you can do that right now.
Is there any way that I can get a bond on that or no?
Not on the VOP. No, it's either sit there or take the 30 right now. It's like I said, you'll be like at 28 or something like that when you come back to court. But that's up to you.
Just because I'm trying to get out to try to get all this stuff squared away, and it's really
okay. Well, you're not getting out today. That's not happening because of the VOP. You're either taking the 30-day sentence or I'm leaving you at no bond.
I guess kind of 61 half dozen of the other, right?
Amen, brother.
I guess do 30 days.
Okay. In 17 CT 3256, you understand by entering an admission to a violation of probation, you give up the right to have a trial to the court, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to have an attorney represent you, that you're willing to give up those rights so we can resolve the VOP today?
Yes.
Do you admit that you violated your probation?
Yes.
I'll accept the admission, find it's freely and voluntarily made, revoke and terminate the probation unsuccessfully, adjudicate you guilty of the underlying charge if that wasn't done before. I will sentence you to 30 days in the county jail. I'll give you credit for 2 days served. There'll be a $50 cost of prosecution and your cost of incarceration. So that takes care of that. Then we have, let's see. Hang on. You got failed to appear on a second driving on a suspended. State any problem with him getting concurrent time for that since he just took 30?
No, Your Honor.
So, Mark, we can resolve the other misdemeanor driving charge that you have open with the same time that you just took for the VOP if you're interested in doing that.
So is that an additional 30 days?
It is not. It's concurrent time.
Okay, so it's the same thing. Okay. Sounds good.
All right. So in that case, by entering a plea, you're giving up the right to have a trial by jury, the right to confront the witnesses against you, the right to remain silent, the right to have a lawyer represent you, but you want to give up those rights so we can resolve that case today as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
And case number 18CT156, that's the charge that you drove knowing your license had been suspended or revoked. How do you wish to plead? You may plead no contest.
Yes, no contest.
I'll accept that plea, find it's freely and voluntarily made, adjudicate you guilty of the charge, sentence you to 30 days in a county jail running concurrent with the time in 17 CT 3256. Also with 2 days credit time served, there'll be a fine and court cost in that case of $438. So that takes care of those misdemeanors. Then we have Judge Rupee's warrant, which has a fleeing and a driving on a suspended license. And we'll leave the bonds on those at the $2,000 and $1,000. So your bonds on the criminal charges now are at $11,000. And then on the child support cases, I'm going to find that you're in contempt, and the sanction for that contempt is going to be 10 days in the county jail starting today, running concurrent with all your other time. So the two of those are getting resolved for 10 days. It's running in the same time that you're doing on the misdemeanors. That will not fix your child support problem. When eventually you get out, you'll have to go see those folks to get this squared away. If you don't, you'll wind up getting arrested again, all right?
Okay.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy your weekend.
It got July 10th as well.
July 10th, yeah. Very good. All right, thanks, folks.